I wish I knew these workout cheat codes when I was in my 20s. I had just turned 36. My birthday was, as of recording this, the other day. So I put together a list here of the cheat codes I wish I knew when I was 20 to get my physique to where it is today. So, first thing I have on my list is I would have focused more on building strength in the compound basic movements. Now, I did that in the beginning and early on, and I was very, very strong. However, I always tried to max out. So I would always try to hit my new 1 rep max. What I would do, and what I think that anyone should do that's listening to this who wants to improve their physique is focus on getting stronger with these compound movements, but and things like bench press, squats, overhead press, deadlifts, like those main movements, but focus on a rep range that made sense. So anywhere between 6 to 8 reps, trying not to drop below that, especially if your main goal is to look better, and which was my main goal, was to look better. Yes, I was really strong, and yes, I competed in powerlifting and I did really well, but I want to look that part. So if you want to look that part, you have to focus on getting stronger in those rep ranges. So that's the first cheat code. Second cheat code was to work with more pauses. So what does that mean? So focusing on what's called the mind-muscle connection. I wish early on I would have focused on doing more pauses in my training. So like, for example, if I'm doing dumbbell curls, pausing and squeezing on the top and actually feeling the biceps engage and activate, because that will speed up what's called mind-muscle connection. So your connection to that muscle group that you're training, and will give you better results. Arnold Schwarzenegger was famous for this because what he would do is after he did every set, he would pose in front of the mirror, and he believed that gave him an advantage over everyone else. And I think that there's something to that. So I would have incorporated more pauses into my training. I am very regimented when it comes to keeping track of my workouts, keeping track of my nutrition and things like that. So if I would have worked in more pauses, it would have I would have focused on getting stronger with those pauses. So for example, like I said, doing a pause on a seated dumbbell curl and making sure, okay, I'm going to work up to, instead of working up to just heavy weight that I'm heaving and hoeing, I'm actually working up to a weight that I'm getting it up there. I'm squeezing, I'm making the contraction, I'm cramping the arm, and then I'm coming back down and doing it again, and focusing on that, because that will lead you to better results going forward. The next thing that I have is I would focus more so on calories, protein, and fiber instead of looking for the best diet program. In the beginning, I was looking for any type of diet to follow that would give me the edge. I focused on eating healthy, all these things that were wrong. But really, all I needed to do was focus on just the calories, protein, and how much total fiber I was getting every day for health, because health is important. Focus on getting in those 3 things instead of how much protein, how much carbs, how much fat. Because once you have your protein dialed in and once you have your calories dialed in, everything else will fall into place. So if I wanted to lose body fat, I needed to be in a calorie deficit. So just focusing on protein, calories, hit that number. Now, if I needed to gain weight, gain more muscle, I need to be in a calorie surplus. Wherever the carbs and fat fall, as long as I'm hitting my protein and my fiber for the day, I'm good to go. And not making the nutrition more complicated than that. In the beginning, I made it very, very complicated, way more than it needed to be. If I just focused on those 3 things, I would have been golden. All right, so that was another cheat code. The next one, and I actually did a video on this, is I would focus on UTF. And what I've coined this in my other training video was ugly training face. So whenever you're training, you need to be able to make UTF, ugly training face. So you need to be focusing on intensity of movements. So there was a recent meta study that came out that talked about how intensity is actually the key driver in muscle growth and changing the way your body looks. So what that means is you need to be training hard and pushing your boundaries. Muscle growth doesn't happen on accident. Just because you went to the gym today, it doesn't necessarily mean your body's going to change. You need to force that change. So if you're not literally straining and making a really ugly face when you work out, nothing's going to happen. If you're able to, like, let's say I'm doing curls and I'm yapping away and I'm talking to somebody while I'm doing my set, that's not going to stimulate anything. So I would focus on having UTF every single time I went to the gym right off the bat. The next thing that I would do, and this is the best thing that you can ever do, and I didn't do this in the beginning, I wish I would have, is I would have prioritized sleep. Sleep is the best. It's equivalent to anything else out there. It's probably the most important thing. You recover when you sleep. Sleeping is so important. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole on why sleep is important, but most of the top bodybuilders and the people who look the best usually have the best sleep hygiene. In the beginning, I didn't have that so much. So focus on sleep. And the last thing I would do is focus on strength training, not on cardio. Too many people rely on cardio to try to get in shape. And while cardio is good, cardio is not the main dish. The main dish, more in this case, the meat on the plate is going to be your strength training, and the side salad is your cardio. So you need to be focusing on that way. I like to do a little bit of cardio to warm up before I actually lift, but that's not really considered cardio. If you're doing 30 to 40 minutes of cardio or anything more than 5 minutes of cardio before you work out, big mistake. Your body burns certain foods certain ways. So in the beginning, really quick, let's say I did cardio first. I'm going to burn up all my glycogen, all my carbohydrate energy, and then I'm going to shift to fat. So if I burn up all my carbohydrate energy doing cardio first, and then I go and lift weights, I'm going to be significantly weaker when it comes to lifting weights. And we don't want that. So you want to shift it the other way around, focus on burning that carb energy first, and then go and do some cardio after to help burn off that fat. But again, main thing here is you got to keep the main thing the main thing. Your goal is to look better naked and be better in shape and look better. So you need to focus on the activities that are going to do that, which is strength training. Long distance marathon runners aren't the best physique-wise looking athletes out there. So those are the cheat codes I wish I had when I was 20, now that I'm 36. So wish me a happy birthday in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, a comment, and if you are looking for a coach and a nutritionist, visit our profile. We would love to help you out today.